I guess that's the answer to the jujitsu. You know, um,
Just turned, made eye contact, and I got nervous. Like, I legitimately. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. The timing on that could not have been more perfect.
I'm coming for you. You better be ready.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of Hammers Lounge.
I'm
Yeah.
back.
Hammers Lounge. Yeah, good.
I was out last week, but I'm back.
Yeah, you were playing
Can't
hooky
stay away
last
for too
week.
long. Yeah.
Little bitch. Little fucking bitch. My throat's sore. I might have an abscess. If it doesn't go away, I might have to get it drained.
I mean, it happened once, man.
You are
It
a
did.
hypochondriac, my friend.
No, dude, it happened a year ago, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
I am too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
You're talking through your mic, right?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Pull it.
All right.
Pull it. Yeah.
Is that better?
Much better. Okay, cool.
All right. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
On a
should
podcast,
have
you
done
want
this
that
before
whole
the show.
like, in your ear feeling because it's a talk show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's very true. Kurt, gotta say, hey, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. You sound better. You look better. The show looks good. We've done some work, man.
Yeah, I've been trying, man. I'm really into this whole podcasting thing. You know, listened to it for a while, and I was like, hey, I think I could do that. I got things to talk about, I guess, sometimes.
Who's your favorite podcaster?
I mean, of course, it's Bill Burr.
Bill Burr?
You know, I love the way he does it too. He does no video. It's just him fucking rambling for like 30, 45 minutes. You know, I love it, man. It's so simple. It's, but he already had a big fan base before he started it, so I can imagine trying to do one like that, starting off, it'd be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it's a grind. Unless
Yeah.
you're already like super popular.
But I love it, man. I've been wanting to get a part of it for a while, so.
We have our regulars though. We have
We do.
yeah,
we do.
Ritter comes in, he stops by, and then Matt and Rambo and Tommy stop by occasionally. What's his name, who loves to give us all the fantasy matchups with Dan
Oh my
Severn.
God, Crown Royal.
Crown Royal, man. He
That
comes
guy's
by.
gonna
Crown
be a
Royal's the
legend.
shit, man.
If he doesn't come back, he's still immediate legend. I hope he comes back, but
Look, man. Hey, listen. If you guys are new, which I suspect you are, this is only episode 6 of this show. We're a pretty general podcast. Today, we're an MMA podcast / UFC, but sometimes we might talk a little about UFC. Some other days we might talk a lot. I have a feeling today is going to be a lot. There's a lot of
we
stuff
got
to go over.
a lot to go over and a lot to look forward to, man.
Yeah, between events that took place, MMA news that's going down. It's been a very heavy week in the MMA news. We're going to cover a lot of that. Besides the MMA aspect, my brother and I, we always have fun shooting the shit, trying to make each other laugh, one-up each other. We like to go ahead and drink beer and just have a good time. And I think that's the whole point of the show, man. Is just kick back, try to laugh and joke and drink some beer with us. You can find us on YouTube. Look for Hammers Lounge. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell when you see that. We just got to 20 subscribers, so that's really good. Otherwise, you can find us on various podcast platforms. We're getting on more platforms, but I know for a fact we're on Spotify. That's a really big one, along with Podbean. That's the service that gets us out there. But yeah, check us out on Spotify. Subscribe, help the show grow, man. And of course, you can always interact with us live. We're on twitch.tv/The Kai Tai Show. For the time being, we're crossing over to our show's Twitter page. If you're on Twitter, you can check out at Hammers Lounge. We're live over there. And then on my personal Facebook, you can find us live there until I get off my ass and like build a Facebook page for the show. Just gonna put it on my.
I've been thinking about that, but I was like, you know,
a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
See a couple people on Facebook watching us right now. Hey, Facebook, what's up?
Hi, Facebook. Do you know who they are?
No. If they say hi, that'd be nice.
Yeah, right.
In the chat, say hello.
Just kind of just lurking.
All I see is an eyeball and a number next to it, and that just tells me.
Okay, that's a little unsettling, but we'll roll with it. Huh?
Man, hey, just
eyes are eyes, huh?
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
Drinking Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Things IPA. Kurt is fucking disgusting.
I am drinking the actual, the very established natural light. Okay.
Ice, you're drinking natural ice. It's not even light.
Yeah, not even light actually. Who am I, kid?
Peasant. Jesus Christ.
Cheers, everybody.
All right, man.
I'm gonna get a sponsorship. I'm telling you. You're gonna be like, hey, someone's actually drinking our beer.
Natty Ice sponsoring the Hammers Lounge. Yeah, that's on par. That's pretty on par for what we got going on over here.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're having a good time.
Kurt, what do you want to talk about, man? We have a lot to go over. We have a lot.
I mean, to be honest, we really do. I mean,
you want to touch on UFC? UFC just came back.
It did. And
Holloway and Qatar.
It came back with a bang. I mean, this card for this main card, at least for the premiere on ABC, could not have been any better.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, old boxing fans, they wanted the old drawn out fights, but nowadays, man, the UFC fans, especially new eyes, they want the knockouts, man. They want the flashy KOs, and we got that all night. I mean, so starting off from the first one, I mean, I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name, but
let me see.
Punahele, he's Hawaiian. And I've never seen this guy before, nor the other guy, but I saw a little bit of news on him before.
Yeah.
Mr. Dusko, they pronounce it Dushko, and I can't help but laugh every time I say it, but hey, whatever, it's his name. Dushko, he's a Russian guy, and he was saying before the fight, he was like, I don't care if I'm a champion. I don't care anything like that. I want to retire undefeated. And to say something like that in your UFC debut.
It's a bold claim, man.
That's a very bold claim.
It's a very bold claim.
And
by the way, Facebook, John LaPlante just messaged me. Says it's him chilling in Facebook with Brandon and Tommy. Apparently Facebook comments aren't popping up on my my app.
I thought John was just going to roast me. But thank you for tuning in, John. And Brandon and Tommy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't see the Facebook, but I just pulled it up on my phone so I can see you guys on Facebook now. Jesus Christ. My bad.
But, all right.
Anyways,
cool. All I'm going to say, yeah, Mr. Punahele. We'll call him Puna, huh? How about that? Puna came in and he was like, all right, you know, check out this left hand. You know what I mean? And he was a southpaw and was just driving that left hand the whole first round. And I mean, it only went one round. And Dushko was coming out trying to look like Anderson Silva. I mean, hands down, he was trying to just basically back up and weave every one of Puna's shots, dude. And I saw it coming, man. He got caught with one big one, and that was it. I mean, after he got caught with one clean left hand, it was left after left after left, and it was finished late in the first round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it'd be just the way to start it off. I mean, just a dominant KO over a guy that came out, you know, super cocky, obviously. So it was, I don't know, man. It was, for some reason, it was like satisfying to see because the guy was so cocky, you know.
I'm going to retire. So the one who said I'm going to retire undefeated got knocked out.
Mr. Dushko, got knocked out.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the Hawaiian dude, he came in as a southpaw and just delivered beautiful left hands as against an orthodox fighter, especially one that was, you know, trying to be Mr. Anderson. We all saw what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the idea that anybody says they're going to try to retire undefeated, if you're not already at like retirement contemplation point in your career.
Yeah, I mean, look at Khabib.
Yeah.
When has he ever even mentioned undefeated retirement?
Yeah.
Never.
No, I mean, some people, you have to go in with that mindset that you're going to be like world class and going to dominate everybody. But damn it, man, when you put it out there to the planet that I'm going to retire undefeated in UFC,
that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of pressure.
Someone else who had a lot of weight, Joaquin Buckley, coming off of knockout of the year, or arguably knockout of the year.
Man. And another quick knockout off of that too.
Yeah, so this guy Buckley comes in, right? He's got a ton of hype. He came off this really flashy knockout kick where he tried to kick a guy. The guy caught his leg. He jumped and spun backwards and kicked him in the chin, sweet chin music style for wrestling fans. Knocked the dude clean out. One of the flashiest knockouts probably in the last
just stiffened
decade.
Up and fell over.
Yeah, it was
easily knockout of the year.
So when you come off of a highlight like that, there's a lot of pressure on you. A lot of the times, usually the guys will just, they'll get some unimpressive wins. This went the complete opposite direction. Alessio, another name, DeChiquiro or something. Anyways, this guy wanted to come to play spoiler. This dude kicked him in the fucking head. It sounded like a baseball bat. God, the audio on it was disgusting.
It was another case of the opposite stances. Buckley being a southpaw, and Alessio being orthodox. You saw him throw that head kick early in the fight, and Buckley, he got that guard up, but it was like, oof, that was a hard and accurate kick. And then it's just Buckley, he has that style, almost like that Tyson style where he tries to duck and roll in and get in towards you. Well, I mean, he ducked right into it, man, and it put him out just like that. I mean, one shot.
Dude, yeah, he got a couple hammer fists afterwards.
And how do
you feel about the follow-up shots when you know they're knocked out?
I mean, you got to give the fighters a chance, but it's such a thin line. You know what I mean? It's such a thin line.
Jorge Masvidal, there was that bad blood.
I mean that was
there was some bad blood there.
But
this one I was like, dude, come on. You knew the guy was fucking out. Like you knew he was. I mean, you don't kick someone that flush in the dome.
Yeah.
And they
I don't know. Buckley's a tough guy, man. You got to make sure. I mean, look at him.
You double tap, man. I'd
make sure to double tap for sure too if I was facing someone like that.
Oh God.
And the thing is, a couple things, because I was listening to Buckley before this fight, and he was saying, I literally kind of quote him. He said basically he doesn't care what the outcome is. He wants to go in there and make it a knockout fight, whether he gets knocked out and the other guy gets knocked out. And I'm like, man, like I appreciate that as a fan, but at the position that you're at right now as a fighter, you just won knockout of the year, and you followed that up with 2 weeks later, you knocked this other guy out in the first round. You're riding high, dude. Like it's like I said, it's fun to see as a fan, but man, if he would have got this win, that would have just kept his rocket going, dude. But this Alessio guy, pretty kind of not known. I didn't know who he was. Knocks him out with a head kick. So he kind of just stays there in irrelevancy in more the undercard type fighters.
It's gonna be one of those wait and sees. Let's keep it rolling. Let's move on next, dude. Yeah, because this main card was just one banger after
one
another.
after the next.
Santiago,
I like this one.
Bio.
I like this one because Mr. Ying Xinglang.
Yeah,
I've seen this guy. He's been in the UFC for a few years. Both of these guys have been in the fighter.
Xinglang's got a cool boxing style to his punches.
Yeah, no, he
looks like he struggles to throw them, but he looks like he throws them with a lot of force. Remember,
man.
Yeah, but anyways,
he throws them wide. Yeah,
wide. That's what I'm thinking. It's just really wide.
Yeah, he's not right down the pipe, dude. He just.
He's not a point A to point B type guy, like quickest path.
Though he puts his strikes behind the feints, though. That he's always done it, and that's what he did in this fight against Santiago. Because Santiago, he's a great boxer. We've seen that. I mean, he knocked out freaking oh my God, Gunnar Nelson when Gunnar was on his rise, dude. He just put him out, dude. And so with Lee. He may be a wide striker, but he was like, dude, I was loving the combinations he was putting together. I mean, when they were in the standoff, I saw Ling, he threw like a couple feints, uppercuts, and then came with that leg kick, went down low, and then came up high again. Just kind of, even though he's throwing wide strikes, he's throwing you off with his level change. And that's what he did to Santiago, man.
Yeah, he was moving good. He caught Santiago with this really wide hook. Knocked him out cold.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't even that wide of a hook. See, Santiago, he started putting the pressure on him, and then late in the first round, Santiago went for a 1-2. But Ling, I mean, I loved it because Ling basically countered perfect with the left hook off of Santiago's strikes, and with one clean left hook right on the jaw, I mean, dropped him, and I mean, like folded him.
Yeah. No, it was done.
It was
done. So from one flashy knockout to another.
At that point in the card, I'm losing. I'm like, this is awesome.
That's 3 knockouts in a row.
This.
It's a good treat. Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. So now this one I was in and out of. I had to play him at work, right? I was. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was a snore fest or if a lot was getting done.
Absolute opposite. It was the absolute opposite. Yes, I mean, because I've been a huge fan of Carlos Condit his entire career. I mean, he's another one of those.
I've been a fan of both. They're both really good. I mean, Matt Brown's kind of a prick, but
he kind of has.
He's an easy guy to get behind in the ring, though.
Guy's a savage. Yeah, I mean, he's a savage unless you kick him in the body. But Condit, I mean, it's like Jose Aldo and those fighters. I've watched these guys since the WBC, about mid 2000s. And this was actually Carlos Condit's last fight on his contract. It was a big fight for him. And Matt Brown came in with a relatively smart game plan. I mean, he took Carlos down immediately. He waited for Carlos to throw kind of because Carlos throws wide winging shots. He's not really a tight striker. He kind of just throws those loopy kicks and loopy strikes. So Matt Brown got him down early and basically suffocated him the entire first round. But Condit got up late, about 20 seconds left in the first round. And when you saw Matt go back to his corner, he was he had 35, 40% left in him. I mean, he wasn't gassed, but
I said, it was hard. Luckily for me, my work was slow, so I was able to watch most of the fights. But no, this one I really did have to piece together.
Yeah, so to see in the second round, to see Condit come back, I mean, bite down and grit and come back, I mean, he really fought for his job. He fought for his, passion for the sport.
So that's what gets me. Let me cut you off there. This is my problem with this fight. I'm watching a fight where both fighters have retired. Condit came out, has been saying for years, doesn't know if he wants to fight. And I fucking hate that about people. I do. And then Matt Brown himself, unsure about his fighting. So I'm watching a fight with two fighters that their minds just aren't fully in the game. And I'm wondering why they're fighting. And I'm wondering, I mean, I get why they're the co-main. I can
actually see that about Brown. I can actually see that question. Like, why are you fighting? Because he actually did want to retire quite a few fights ago.
So did Condit.
Got that
Condit was like 3 or 4 losses ago.
But that's the thing. If you let me finish, that's the thing with Brown. He got the knockout against Diego Sanchez. And that's I think the UFC just kind of baited him with money, probably the same way they did with Derek Lewis. But Condit, I really feel like Condit loves to fight. I mean, this guy's been fighting since he was like 20 years old, and I think it's like the Alexander Gustafsson thing. You take a few bad losses, you really just, you think that's it, but then you go out for a little while and then you realize that fire to fight is still burning. So you come back, and Condit, I got to give it to him, man. You can tell that he wants to fight, but man, he's taken a few bad losses in a row before this fight.
What I mean
so
is
to him in the second round to come back and really show that he wants to still fight, and because it was a hard fight, dude. Condit fought his ass off tooth and nail, and he came away with a decision. It was a great fight. It was 1-1 going into the third, and you could just tell that Condit wanted it more.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a side of me that enjoys sideshow fights. Maybe not sideshow, but like show fights. None of these guys are.
I know what you mean.
Neither are ranked.
You get.
We're not talking about Condit or Matt Brown making a run for a belt.
Yeah, they've always just been big names, and the UFC put it together as a co-main event because they.
Neither of them are ranked anymore, are they? I don't think either of them are ranked.
I mean,
because ranked is top 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I'm looking at here. I don't see a number beside either of them.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's just two very well-known names, especially for ABC, your first card on
yeah,
ABC.
so that I think is the caveat. I think it's you put them because of ABC. I think if it wasn't for ABC, these guys would have been main eventing prelims. Which I think is respectable.
You're right.
I think that's very respectable.
No, it is. That I mean, Brown and Condit, that's definitely the main event on a prelim.
Yeah.
But just as for career-wise, I think Carlos really still wants to be in it.
You think he'll go to like PFL or Bellator? Or you think he's fighting to stay in UFC?
After he's done with the UFC, I think he's done.
So, but you think his intentions are to stick around?
Yeah, he wants to. He wanted that new contract to the UFC. That's why it was such a big fight for him. You know, this was his last fight on his contract. I mean, he knew if he lost to, that was it.
That was it.
So.
Okay. All right, let's talk about this main
Good
event.
Fight, man. I'm glad he won. Even though it was a long drawn out decision, I was on my feet the whole time.
Yeah,
basically.
no offense to either of these guys. It's just like ever since Dana White kind of put that notion out to the ether, once you're contemplating MMA, you're that's it. You're retired.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's a statement as speaking as some fat guy behind a fucking microphone who's never done MMA a day in his life. Okay. But some reason that statement's resonated with me. Okay.
Well, of course. Yeah. You can have perspective on it.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially Matt Brown.
Let's talk this main event, though. Let's talk this main event. It's the thumbnail of the episode for you guys watching on YouTube.
Well, I mean, we've just been leading up. Stick with us.
We don't need to go play by play because we'll do an hour.
We don't even
just
need
on this.
to. The entire fucking fight was in one sentence. He just teed off on him for 25 minutes straight.
Listen to these numbers.
Oh my God!
Listen to these numbers, Kurt. Listen to these numbers.
I haven't even looked at the numbers.
Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. By the way, if you haven't seen this fight and you want to see what the hell MMA is
and this
about,
isn't even the first time that Max has beat somebody like this.
No, go watch this fight. This fight is amazing, and it will have you jaw dropped. But listen to these numbers, Kurt. I'm gonna read them off. Don't spoil it for yourself. I'm gonna read them off to you. Total strikes.
Poor shot.
Total strikes. 447 from Max Holloway.
Yeah.
He landed 60% of 740.
60%?
He landed 60% of 746 shots thrown at Calvin Kattar. Significant strikes. 445 significant strikes. That's 60% of 744. Total takedowns 0% of 1. Calvin Kattar 0% of 2. Kattar got 134 strikes to Holloway's 447. Kattar landing 47% of 284. Kattar landing 133 significant strikes to Holloway's 445. Kattar landed 47% of 283. This fight. Dude, listen to the stats.
That he landed 60%.
The stats are even more disgusting as far as where they hit on the body.
60%. All right. Jesus.
Holloway landed 274 strikes to the head, 62%. He landed 176 shots to the body, and then 54 shots to the leg. Kattar landed 99 shots to the head, 16 to the body, 18 to the legs. Holloway destroyed this guy.
I mean, at what point, really, do you throw in the towel for your fighter?
I was thinking
that the towel easily could have been thrown.
I was thinking that it could have been thrown in round 4.
You know, and it was the same thing with the Ortega fight.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to look out. It's the thing about these MMA gyms that I'm noticing is the notion of protecting your fighter is not nearly prevalent in the coach's head as commentators and spectators. Yeah. There is a huge gap between where a commentator of the sport, spectators, analysts believe towel should be thrown in compared to when the coach themselves. Now, whether that be based off of letting your fighter down, wanting to keep your job, that's another thing. A lot of people disregard that, man. A fighter,
I mean, you saw
who coaches
Deontay Wilder's corner save him.
Yeah.
And then Deontay Wilder, I'm pretty sure he fired
his coaches.
He wouldn't even let his coaches into the locker room.
Yeah.
So there is you're right. You're right. There is
fear of losing your job. There's a couple other things there. But boy, man, when you have a dude who lands
when your fighter's taking that
274 shots
what part
to his head.
What part of that coach's brain was like, well, maybe he'll get him in the next round? You know?
Yeah.
Like you've seen this been going on for 15 minutes straight. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, Qatar actually landed a couple of those punches. I don't know. There was a few
when he was back on the cage, dude. When he was back on the cage, there was a couple shots Holloway took. I was like, God, no.
That's what I'm saying. And didn't he? I don't know if Holloway kind of like was rocked, but just kind of stayed stiff, because there was a couple that Holloway was caught with, and he didn't so much fade away from the distance, but he kind of stood straight there, and he stopped kind of throwing for just a second, just a couple seconds, and I think that's enough. You know, for me, I'm sure there was bells ringing in his head, but I think honestly, it's like that guy said on John Wick. It's like the sheer determination and fucking will of Max Holloway just kept him throwing.
It's insane,
dude.
Man.
Max wants his title back. I mean, Max and 80% of the world knows that he beat Alexander Volkanovski, if not once, twice. Yeah. So Max, and the thing is, Dana even said after this, it's like, we have to make this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, just performances like that. I mean, Jesus.
It's nuts, man.
You know, that's something else. Yeah. I've seen over 1,000 fights, probably more than that growing up, and I've never seen domination other than Joanna Jędrzejczyk. He's basically the male version of Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
All right. Now that we're done, let's go ahead. Let's give your official grade, Kurt, of UFC Fight Island 7.
Let's see. Is that this one coming up?
No, that's the one that's your official grade.
Oh, the one that we were okay. Yeah, I've got lost one. I mean, look, man, especially for its debut on ABC, I give it at least probably a 9, dude. Judging by the main card, yeah, I mean that really, yeah.
I'd give it an
well,
A.
I was thinking 9 out of 10.
You know, that's an A.
So yeah, I'd give it an A.
Yeah.
I mean, for you. I mean, because we saw it. We saw Velasquez and Dos Santos, their first one. And I mean, some people were mad about it. Some people are happy because the fight ended in 45 seconds.
Yeah. So got the complete opposite here. You had the fight go 5 rounds.
But, yeah. And the thing is, they had fights before that. I mean, all knockout, a really good fight to the decision, and then co-main event with Condit, and then just a absolute beatdown by Holloway. I mean, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'd say it was a success for the first fight on ABC.
Nice. All right. So that's behind us. Let's go ahead and take a shot. All right.
Should we?
Yeah, we're going to take a shot in between segments.
All right.
Everything. Shots, drinking the beer, whatever. Once again, if you are just tuning in, I am drinking Terramana Tequila, too. The Rock.
We're saying what we're drinking. Okay.
Yeah, man. Why not? Gotta fill time, bro.
No, I would just chime in and say I was drinking as well. I mean,
what are you drinking? You drinking any liquor?
The old Senator's Club.
Senator's Club whiskey.
This is whiskey. Yeah.
I love Kurt. He tries to be fancy.
I mean, I've just always been a whiskey guy.
Kurt, dude, when Kurt turned 16, his dream was to be an old man. He's like, man, I just want to be old.
I think so, man. I don't know. I swear to God, I was just born a bitter old man.
Yo, I love this thing that
Meanwhile, I'm trying to get to this next card and it's not fucking working. Anyway, what?
When, whenever you hear a child is called an old soul, you're just saying like, man, that kid's gonna be boring.
I mean, I like to think I wasn't boring, but I think I'm pretty boring.
Brandon Walter says, "Hey, what's up, Brandon?"
Hey, I'm not looking at the chat. Okay.
It's okay.
Hey.
Look, what do we want to talk about next?
Well, I'm trying to get to the next card.
No, man. We'll get to the card. Let's do some news. Let's do some quicker base stuff. Some stuff that we can fire off. Have you heard of Cody Garbrandt calling out Jose Aldo?
Oh God. Look,
what do you think about this?
Yeah, I have such mixed feelings about this one because
it makes sense. Smart move.
My first thought, I'm gonna hit the bull in this one. My first thought is like, Jose Aldo has the skill and ability to make this guy look foolish, but Garbrandt, man, his boxing is fast. I mean, that is a fast and powerful guy for his weight division.
After his knockout against Rafael Assuncio, Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, see, I don't know what to think about that knockout either. I don't know if I'm impressed or if I'm just like, because it was a weird shot.
He threw it off of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he hit his hand behind him and threw just a haymaker off the fence. And I mean, it couldn't have been any more clean. I'll give him that. It was one of the cleanest haymakers I've ever seen.
Well, you have to think, man. I think he's smart. I think the man's smart, and let me tell you why. What's his division again? He's bantamweight, right?
I think he's featherweight. I always get bantam and featherweight mixed up. Which is heavier?
Bantam's heavier.
Bantam is heavier? I thought bantam was lower. Okay.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
I don't even know what bantam means. I don't know where they got it from.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. I just say it to sound clever. Like I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, the same thing with welterweight. Where the hell did welterweight come from?
So I'm looking up the UFC weight divisions because I remember I was listening to Chael Sonnen, and Chael Sonnen made a lot of sense, but I don't remember anything he said. So I'm hoping I can look at the division. And
God, I love listening to Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, he's got a really good YouTube channel. I like what he does is he takes like a podcast and breaks it down into talking points. And it's way more digestible. I couldn't do a Chael Sonnen entire hour-long podcast. But
that would get very tiring. But no, the way he does it, I love the way he presents it, the way he actually just the way he talks about it, man. I don't know. It's like a mix between like wrestling, talking.
Here we go. So here's the thing. Cody Garbrandt, he's third place in the bantamweight. Flyweight's the smallest, then it goes bantam featherweight. So you were right. My apologies. But you have Corey Sandhagen, who just came out with an awesome knockout, and then you also have Aljamain Sterling, who's up in the mix.
He's been hanging out there for a minute, man.
Yeah. And
I'm impressed because he was knocked out too, but fought his way back up.
Peter Yan is the champ. I think now that Cody knows that this belt is going to be locked up. The belt's locked up. It's jammed. You can't do nothing. I think Cody's doing this. He's smart, man. He's got to try to keep his name relevant after.
That's true.
That's losing.
True. Yeah, exactly. After losing to Garbrandt, and can you remember who he lost to when he raged out in that one fight and got knocked out?
Dude, no, he got knocked out 3 times in a row. He got knocked out by Dillashaw a bunch of times.
No, that's the thing. But I'm saying the fight after Dillashaw.
I can't remember. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. He got knocked out again.
Yeah, he kind of got like they headbutted, and then Cody just kind of went. Chuck Liddell tried to, just threw everything to the wind and got knocked out in the dumbest way possible. So you're right when to say like he needs to try to stay relevant. I mean, fuck,
do that with Jose Aldo.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But I don't know, man. A fight between them, I really think Jose would, unless he clipped Jose.
Jose is ranked 6th to Garbrandt's third. The only person that Garbrandt keeps his name. If he beats Jose, he keeps his name because I didn't realize a legend. Because Jose wins, that puts him back up in title mix.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And that's the thing. A rematch, he didn't look bad against Yan. I mean, he had his moments for a good, 2.5 rounds. But Yan just caught him with some bad body shots, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for Jose. So, but I don't know. We've seen Jose in rematches. He hasn't really looked any better since the first time, We saw him fight Max Holloway. So,
yeah.
I don't know. As big as a fan as I am of Jose, I don't think he'll get the title again.
No, I don't think so. I love
Peter Yan.
right there with you.
But then again, like who does Peter Yan face next? You know, because you have Henry Cejudo, you know, kind of like, you know, dipping his toes in the water, thinking, you know, talking about coming back.
Yeah, I think that's why the title's getting jammed up. I think that's now that I think.
Wait, is that even the same weight class? No, that's not even the same weight class, is it?
Cejudo?
Yeah, Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, because he won flyweight and bantamweight.
Like I said,
he was champ. He won them both.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I always get those weight classes mixed up.
No. Yeah, he won them both, man. Flyweight and
And what a have we ever had a more cringy champ than Henry Cejudo? And I hate even using that word cringy, but it's the guy is like, you watch him try to, you know, you're just like, ugh.
You know, that's a publicist team right there.
That's
a team of people like, hey, look, man, this is what's making money. He's like, I'm an Olympic champion. I have gold medals. I'm a gold medal Olympic champion. You're like, yeah, listen, man, no one gives a shit. Go out there, talk crap. He's like, well, I've never really watched pro wrestling. I don't know how to do that. Just take this stuffed snake and just like slam it into the ground, okay?
That was, oh my God. That was the dumbest. I mean, I get it because if you look up the whole backstory, it fits, but whatever.
I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
And he's getting up there in age too, so if he's gonna come back, it's gonna be pretty soon. It'll be this year if he comes back.
Yeah. All right. So that was a segment. All right, take a shot.
Oh Jesus! All right. Bill Burr.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully one day he'll give me a shout out.
Bill Burr, we can get him too. I think he's on Cameo. We can get the fucker on Cameo.
No, that is such the hacky. No, he'll never be on Cameo.
I bet he's on Cameo.
Shit ever for money.
I bet you Bill Burr's ass is on Cameo.
No. There's no way. There's no way. That is not Bill Burr. And I think it's hilarious too, because I've been listening to Bill for so long, and he's always done his own podcast, you know, the way he has. And then as soon as we start, our own little, MMA whatever podcast, him and his Joe DeRosa, I'm pretty sure he's like, oh yeah, so me and DeRosa is starting a podcast next month. It's like a sports podcast.
How do you spell Bill Burr's last name? Is it B-E-R?
No, it's B-U-R-R.
B-U-R-R.
And even if it is on,
he's not on Cameo.
I told you that's not Bill.
Yeah,
here's to you, Bill. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. No, that's dude. The Iron Sheik. If you're on Twitter, bro, follow the Iron Sheik. His whole thing on Twitter is telling people to go fuck themselves and calling Hulk Hogan a jabroni. That's all he does.
Oh, but that's Bill's thing, man.
Bill's
thing has always been the whole go fuck yourself.
No. The Iron Sheik, that's been his thing, man. Iron Sheik.
Really?
Yeah, dude. He'll be like, it's Tuesday, go fuck yourself. Or not in a Boston accent, but no, I'll pull up some of his tweets right now. I promise you, he's told someone to go fuck themselves.
I believe it.
In the last couple of tweets. Let's look up the Iron Sheik. Although lately he's been on this Hulk Hogan kick because everybody hates Hulk Hogan in 2021.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know me. I don't really like.
He's a racist, man.
Oh, like you mean in real life people hate him?
In real life, a lot of wrestling fans because the stuff is just bubbled to the surface.
I mean, everyone knew he's a racist since like 5 years.
So his pinned tweets is: "Take a minute of your day and be nice to someone, you dumb son of a bitch." Let's see one where he's not paying respect to someone that just died.
Yeah, it's happening a lot in WWE nowadays, ain't it?
Willy Wonka, you best be good like the gene, otherwise I break your fucking neck. He's threatening Willy Wonka. Man. You're only as good as your last suplex.
It kind of reminds me of Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz, I mean, come on. The guy's a legend.
We would. Nobody on earth ever, never, ever say one bad thing about Paul Bettany. Otherwise, I'd break your fucking neck. He the legend of Earth. All right, so I guess he hasn't done the whole say fuck yourself in a minute. Oh, wait, never mind.
No, I'm telling you, that's Bill.
January 18th.
That's old Billy bitch tits. I'm telling you.
If it is easier on your soul, go fuck yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, he said it once. All right.
It's on the 18th. That was yesterday. He said it yesterday. He just tweets today? A lot, apparently. Oh, man. What do you want to talk?
So what's
up next?
I was thinking really how it's weed, because speaking of that, you know, I just
talk about some weed?
hit a bowl.
Let's talk about some weed,
No. I know. I hit a bowl and I was thinking, I was like, wait, because we were talking about a couple of days ago, apparently weed was just basically legalized in UFC.
Yeah, here we go. I got it up right here.
In the dumbest terms I could have. Yeah, the dumbest way I could have put it. Oh, weed's legalized in the UFC. No, you know, apparently, you know, they're not testing for it anymore. And I mean, it's
not that they're not testing for it. It won't be a violation.
It won't be a violation
when it pops up in their system.
But it's a long time coming. But it's like, how many fighters have been suspended for an obnoxiously long amount of time for smoking weed? You know, it's ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm happy that it happened, but quite a few fighters' careers have been, I don't know, not ruined, but put on hold for it. I mean, you look at Nick Diaz. Ever since Nick Diaz popped positive, even though they kind of like overturned it in a way and reduced his whole sentence, you know, his suspension. I mean, we haven't seen him fight since. Him and Nate, you know, they're kind of both just like, screw the UFC. But I swear to God, you know, Dana's trying to track them both down.
Yeah,
I heard Dana trying to say, you know, he's got a fight lined up for Nate, and you know, we're gonna love when we hear it. But bullshit. I've heard that a bunch of times before. You know?
I got a question actually for us. Sorry, well, I was looking at my phone because I forgot to load it onto the display.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nick and Nate Diaz, I love them both because I think they were the two of the only few fighters that have actually been like, fuck you, Dana. Like, we're not gonna let you like, you know, get us into this whole fucking, because Dana and all of them, they're pretty shady, man. Like, if you've read some of the stories, it's pretty it's not.
If you are a fight producer,
man, they try to strong arm some fighters. But the thing is, they try to strong arm some fighters dirty, and they have been for years. Like, there's $1 billion lawsuit right now going against the UFC, and there's a lot of fighters that are on board with it.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, here's here's the first question.
Anyway,
that our show has received.
Okay.
Hitting a milestone.
Bring
episode 6.
Yeah, we already got people
in
writing
Ontario
in.
on Twitter reached out to us recently. And
in
she
Ontario,
asked, question for your next MMA show. With UFC changing their stance on marijuana, would Riddle or Lawler ever consider going back? Riddle, she's referring to Matt Riddle.
I remember Matt Riddle. Yeah, I remember him.
And then Tom, it's Tom Lawler who she's referring to. Was he suspended due to weed?
Both of them are.
Yeah. Okay. So
Matt Riddle was actually cut from the UFC.
Yeah.
Because he was
2 no contests. 2 of his wins overturned.
Yep. Just because of weed. It's actually it's a great question. Gesundheit.
So
no, it's a great question. Riddle, as little as I know about him, but I know a little bit about him because of you. I doubt he would go back because apparently he is crushing it in the wrestling.
He's crushing it. He's a WWE superstar. He's currently signed on SmackDown.
He's in WWE? I thought he was in
he's on SmackDown.
Some other. Well then, yeah.
No, he's on Raw, excuse me. He's on Raw. But no, he's killing it. He's killing it in pro wrestling. Not only that, he was cut like 8 years ago. Now,
yeah, granted, I mean, it has been a while, but he was young in his UFC career.
Dude, if you look at his physique, I mean, like his nickname, dude, he's built like a fucking stallion, bro. Whitney's watching. Hey, Whitney, what's going on?
Hi, Whitney.
Anyways.
See, I wouldn't if you go back and look at his fights, he wasn't exactly, he was built like a shorter Stefan Struve when he was fighting.
Yeah.
And by Stefan Struve, I mean, he was lanky, didn't really have a lot of muscle on him. I haven't seen him nowadays.
He's got one of the scariest knockouts in the Ultimate Fighter history.
I mean, yeah, the whole that head kick when the guy was barely off the turf. Yeah.
No. He hit an overhand right.
Oh, against the guy that was like sleeping and everyone was sitting there like, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know which one.
Yeah.
It was up. It was. Yeah. But you're right though. It was a long time ago. It probably did, like I said before. It probably ruined his MMA career.
Yeah.
So that was actually a great question tied into what we were talking about.
Yeah, Vanessa from Ontario, thank you. Nick Diaz. Now, I don't know much about Tom Lawler. I know he's the guy who actually knocked out Nate Diaz with a head kick.
No, that wasn't Tom Lawler. That was oh my god, he came from Strikeforce, man. Cerrone beat him down. Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Josh Thompson, my bad.
Josh Thompson, yes.
The power of Google. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, he was because I remember that. Yeah, that was the only. He's a lightweight. Yeah, that Nate Diaz, that was the only like TKO that Nate's ever had, and that was bad. I remember that one.
His own brother threw in the towel. That's how you know the difference.
That was. Exactly. Yeah. Nick did throw in the towel in that one. It was bad. But Tom Lawler, I mean, I remember seeing him fight a lot, back in the day in UFC. But actually, I didn't know that that's what happened. I didn't realize that he was popped for weed, and I don't know if he was cut eventually. Yeah. I remember
Jessica
he wasn't
Ray
the most.
Is watching on Facebook. What's going on, Jess?
Hey,
I used to work with her at Pizza Hut like years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
But
go
Tom
ahead.
Lawler.
I just like to give a shout out when it says people.
Oh yeah,
are tuning in,
no.
you gotta give them
I
a shout out. Make them feel appreciated.
I got you. Absolutely.
I hope y'all are drinking beer like us tonight. If not, fucking crack one open, man.
But no, Tom Lawler. He was one of those just like not gatekeep fighters, but it was just like you saw him on the undercards. Through the years.
Filthy he was, Tom Lawler.
Relevant.
He stuck with that name. He's a pro wrestler himself.
And he always came out with the craziest. He tried to make himself stand out. He came out with some crazy entrances and all that, and so he was a fighter to watch back in the day, but he wasn't really. He never made it to the top, I guess. And the UFC, it's such a cutthroat business, man. I mean, you can be relevant for years, but as soon as you start losing them, It.
Do you see with it now being announced, because this is making waves, with it now being announced, let's pull up I have an article brought up right here, courtesy of MMA Junkie. Says positive tests for THC regardless of levels will not be considered violation of the policy unless additional evidence exists that an athlete used it intentionally for performance enhancing purposes. So they can still deem it as a violation.
That is such a...
If they can link
that
it.
Is... Yeah, that is such a... Because they'll try to say... I can guarantee you right now, just hearing from that, they'll try to say something like, oh, he tried to, like, I don't know, rest from training better than, other people could medicinally. Say like, he trains really hard, he smokes, and I think they think from the benefit. So I don't know, man. I maybe just be talking at my ass.
It brings up Nick Diaz versus Gomi back in Pride, because
okay.
I
thought you meant like training wise.
I believe they said the reason why
they did not.
They said because it numbed him from the pain in a fight.
I remember that. I remember that, man.
So don't fight high, apparently.
Okay, so
maybe that would be the only time.
Maybe they just mean that, like don't fight high. But the thing is, I feel that would be like a rule anyway. But from what you were saying, I don't know. I feel like there's some loopholes that they would try to pull. Yeah. Just to try to pop a fighter.
Look, they got.
But it's all.
They have a couple people spoke out here on Twitter. Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill says, so can I get my dub back? Matt Riddle, who we've just got done talking about, says, I got the greatest birthday gift of all today. Maybe 9 years late, but still an amazing gift. And one more thing, my record is 10-3, bro. Referencing he was 8-3-2 no contests. So he's referencing those 2 no contests. Dude, that means Matt Riddle was 10-3. That's not a fucking bad record, man.
Wait, so who you said Matt Riddle said that in our chat?
No. I'm reading off tweets on MMA Junkie, on their report of this.
I thought you just said Matt Riddle was in our chat. I was like,
no,
how are you going to say that so casually
right now? I would
I was exactly.
The fuck out.
I was like, how would you say that so casually? Like,
Josh,
even
Thompson,
if it is Matt. Okay.
Who we just spoke about, Josh Thompson, spoke out essentially what took you guys so long. Lauren Murphy says excellent. Nico Price. Everyone asking about the rule change. My situation is with NSAC, not USADA. So unfortunately, my suspension remains the same. Nico. Oh, Nico suspended?
That's unfortunate.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't know that.
Motherfucking Nico.
Yeah, because he just had a big fight off of Cowboy Cerrone not too long ago.
Yeah. Angela Hill says now for time for the State Athletic Commission to follow suit. Chris Dukakis says, about damn time. Can't wait for someone to show internal affairs and I get drug tested randomly every week again for 6 months. Yeah, a lot of people. Louis Smoka. I'm sorry, that's just a hilarious name. Apparently, yeah, you're really happy too.
Yeah, right.
Of course, Louis Smoka would be happy.
Yeah, of course.
Weed is now legal in UFC.
Of course.
Anything else you want to throw in on this, bro?
You see, I was waiting for that, man. I've been, for one, oh God, we haven't even talked about.
Whitney says, being high fighting isn't all that bad. Depends on their tolerance. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if I got a fight with somebody who was smoking, I might actually be kind of nervous. Maybe like, yo, they are probably thinking pretty straight right now.
Yeah, because, well, me and my buddy Tommy, we would always go back out and we would, hit the bag and spar whatever, like while we were smoking. And it's, I feel like a douche saying it, but Joe Rogan, he would always say like being high and rolling and doing all that shit, it gives you almost a clearer mind, And to this day, I'll be hitting the ball a few times, I'm smoking and I love going out and hitting the bag. So I don't know. It's, it's a weird line.
It's weird. Vicente Delgado.
I don't think though that it makes it easier to get hit. I mean, nothing makes it easier to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, if your action speed is down, I can see that.
I mean, I can imagine your reactions. It affects your reaction speed and something like that. But I don't know. It makes it fun. It makes it more fun. But then again, weed makes everything more fun.
Vicente Delgado is watching. He's a former castmate of my other show, Smack Draw Podcast.
It's Vicente Delgado?
Yeah, Vince.
Bro, it sounds literally like a movie star's name. That is
don't feed him that shit. He's a little bitch, bro. He's a traitor. He went off to Matt Ritter's show, smacking it raw. I've been salty ever since.
Does he look like Antonio Banderas? I mean, Jesus.
But he's great for the teenage demographic, like teenage girls and young, like 20-something girls. Man, they fucking loved him while he was on the show.
I mean, dude, I love him, and I just look because of his name,
Vicente Delgado. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
It's like, I mean, it's like the nickname. I remember Brian Callen and them talking about it. It's like El Gato. It means butterfly. But I mean, Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus.
I think. Yeah.
You hear about John Jones?
Anyway. What? That, the UFC will always be on his nuts? And that,
John Jones.
Heavyweight.
Courtesy of BJPen.com.
The guy can do whatever he wants. BJPen.com. That place is a joke. Sorry.
Courtesy of BJPen.com. Dana White. John Jones gets winner of Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou 2.
Oh, of course.
So John Jones lined up for the heavyweight title.
I figured they were gonna do a fight before Jones got a title shot. But I knew Jones's first fight in heavyweight was going to be a title shot.
Oh yeah, of course. Everybody fucking
obviously.
knew, man.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. What do you think? Because first we'll talk about the actual.
I've been wanting to see
shot.
Jones in heavyweight for a long time. I feel like he's going to be a more boring fighter in heavyweight. I feel like,
man,
I don't see him in many stand-up wars. I feel like he's going to become a heavyweight GSP,
but
or
can
Randy
he
Couture
do that,
style.
though? Can he do that against heavyweights? You've seen him do it against
I don't know.
every other light heavyweight.
My dream
but look
is
at
to
him.
watch him get knocked the fuck out.
Well, of course. But look, you watched him against Gustafsson the first time. Yeah, whatever. He didn't train a lot, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as he actually fought somebody like his actual body size, he had a very hard time taking him down. That was the first time in his UFC career that he was taken down himself. So for him to be fighting heavyweights, can actually control these heavyweights like he does the light heavyweights that he's fought before? Because who has he fought? He fought Rampage. He fought Lyoto. He fought Shogun. Everyone that he's fought, he's been staturally bigger than.
Who would you give him a better chance against? Francis Ngannou or Stipe?
Francis. Yeah, because
Francis haymakers.
Francis. I mean, that's the guy hits like a fucking anchor. But
he holds the record for the hardest punch in the UFC.
But he is stiff as a board, dude. I mean, I wouldn't say
it's kind of like Deontay Wilder. Like, why develop your technique when all you have to do is touch him?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So I think
imagine
Jones
Francis Ngannou if he had a solid jab.
I know, right?
Kind of like what we used to say about Bob Sapp back in the day.
No, it's a good point
jab.
Because Francis, if he had just a nice universal jab where he can use it in most situations, if not any situation. But I mean, Francis, he has great boxing, but Miocic exposed that through 5 rounds. Miocic being
man, it was no fucking walk in the park, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Miocic was a cunt hair away from being put to sleep on so many occasions.
If Ngannou catches Jones like that, I don't know how Jones can handle it, because Jones was rocked by light heavyweights. Lyoto Machida rocked him for the first time in his career with a big right. Sent him, not stumbling, but backing up across the ring. Jones, Thiago Santos, he's been stunned before. And
just
with
Jones
these heavyweights, man.
Jones never really struck me as he got to that tipping point. So this is what I mean. This is what I consider a tipping point.
Not the tipping.
Like, the tipping point for me was, remember when Anderson Silva first faced Chael Sonnen? Chael was able to drop him twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, clock's ticking on Silva's title reign.
All right, he dropped him a half a time.
No, he got dropped twice.
No.
Go check out at Hammer Lounge on Twitter. I just posted it.
I don't know how many times I've watched that fight, but he was rocked once. One other time he clipped him kind of on the back
Anderson
of the head.
Silva definitely sniffed canvas for a moment.
Slipped.
He sniffed canvas in one of those.
It was a slip, and I will die with it. No matter what, he still won.
He got rocked, Kurt. He was dropped twice.
He was rocked, but he was not dropped.
But back to my point. So I watched that fight objectively from my point of view. From my point of view, I was like, okay, clock's ticking on this title run. No offense to Chael, I'm a huge fan of Chael Sonnen. He's like the first person I want to shout out this show or get a soundbite from for this show is Chael Sonnen. Just because I fucking it's like my goddamn MMA spirit.
In the later days, he's a great personality. I do love him. But when I was watching him fight Anderson, I hated that guy's guts.
Oh yeah, no. I was 100% in the Anderson camp.
I will never forget how hard my heart was beating when I was watching him beat Anderson. Me and Tommy were watching. Months up to the fight, seeing all the bull crap, knowing Anderson was the fighter he was. seeing Sonnen talk all that crap and thinking Anderson is just going to destroy him, and then seeing him do what he did, I mean,
a couple things. Let me get back to my sentiment, back to my original point. We'll come back to this. Okay.
It is a soft point though. And Anderson and Sonnen. It's one of my favorite fights in history.
I'm gonna pull it back in here real quick.
All right.
My tipping
point. Talk about Jones. Yes.
During that fight with Sonnen and Anderson, I knew, I was like, okay, time is running out for Anderson Silva. If Sonnen's clipping you, you're going to get in there with some fucking heavy-handed dude, and it's going to be a wrap. And we got, not long afterwards, what's his name? Chris Weidman took him out. I haven't seen that necessarily with Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Maybe Thiago Silva. Maybe Silva. If you can get somebody who can add up the damage a little bit more.
But I think that's what it's going to be, though. The added damage that Jones has sustained in his at least light heavyweight career. I mean, now you're going up to heavyweight and you're facing people like Ngannou, Miocic. Miocic, he's a good fighter, man. I mean, look what he did to DC. So all I'm going to say is I don't know how Jones's chin is going to take the heavyweight shots. I feel like Jones is a smart enough fighter to fight in the heavyweight division to do what he needs to do for the win. But I don't know if he's physically.
I don't think he's going to war with nobody. I don't think he's going to war. I think he's going to try and play a safe fight.
He's never been like a built like Anthony Johnson type light heavyweight.
No,
I mean I can see Anthony Johnson going up to heavyweight because he's a big guy.
Dude, yeah.
But Jones has always been just almost like a shorter Stephen Struve. He's just a tall, lanky fighter. So I don't know so much if tall, lanky fighter goes so much better in the heavyweight division when you move up.
Yeah, I think
Stephen Struve.
Do you think he can get ragdolled?
No, I mean, I don't see him. Man, I mean, not by Ngannou, and I don't see him getting ragdolled by Miocic. But remember how Holly Holm took down Ronda Rousey? How she just nobody thought that it would ever happen.
Right.
But Holly Holm just got that body lock, got that low body lock, and just kind of muscled her down. I think the same thing could happen to Jon Jones. Okay. Because he is that taller and lankier fighter. So if a heavyweight does get a hold of Jon Jones, I don't think Jon Jones would have the advantage that he did in the light heavyweight division. Because Jones in the light heavyweight division, when he's basically everyone he's fighting is at least shorter than him, not smaller, because we've seen him fight bigger guys, but shorter than him. We see him get the advantages that he's able to get because he's longer and lankier. But in the heavyweight division, when he's fighting guys that are actually his size and naturally bigger than him, I don't see him, being able to outsmart his opponent in the whole technical aspect. I think people are going to be bigger than him. I think they're going to hit harder than him. But Jon Jones has to use his fighter IQ to really win these fights.
Which he has a really good fighter IQ.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not so sure.
I just want to fast forward to watching Jon Jones get knocked out. I don't think Jon Jones is going to be a fighter that I'm going to appreciate later on. I think Jon Jones is going to be a fighter that when his career is over, we're going to look back and think, what a shame. Even with the accomplishments.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right in a way.
Knowing much how much more the man. He is the epitome of wasted potential.
You're exactly right. Because I mean, if you took out all the controversy, let's not
really quick. If I could sidetrack you for 1 second.
Yeah, man.
You think you're good to fill 2 minutes while I put Gavin to bed? You got 2 minutes left on Jones?
Hold on. Jon Jones. Actually, yeah. I'll go 2 more minutes on Jon Jones.
All right. I'll be right back.
All right. Now,
oh shit, hold on. Oh god,
whoa.
you look so crazy. Hold on. Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, there we go. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
All right. So, I guess if anyone's still here and talk about Jon Jones, I mean, this honestly, that probably is the hottest topic of nowadays. Everyone considers him the GOAT, or at least Dana White does. I mean, I consider Anderson Silva the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT, whatever. But Jon Jones, Kyle did have a good point, is a lot of, as well as he has done in his career, so much of it is tainted because, I mean, so many times he's been, I mean, we all know the incidences with, he got in the car crash and ran away and there was pot in his car and he was drunk while driving and all that stuff, all the controversy Jon Jones has been through. If there wasn't that, how much better could have his career been? I mean, he was suspended. He was popped for steroids. I mean, come on, I think it was twice. So that's why I've never been completely on board with Jon Jones's career, because everyone says that he's the GOAT and he's the best. And yeah, I mean, his record says that, but he's never been, a true champion. I don't know, man. And him now going up to heavyweight, because yeah, I mean, he beat Daniel Cormier, he's beat all these other guys. Him going up to heavyweight, I really don't see it going the same way as his light heavyweight career has been. Unless, I mean, he may beat Miocic. Who knows, man? Because I think Miocic is going to beat Ngannou again. But who knows, man? I don't think that I don't think it's going to translate well into the heavyweight division. In his career, people are going to look at it years down the road, and it'll probably, the bad marks will probably be scrubbed away. But seeing it happen, it's hard to respect a type of career that he's had. I mean, yeah, like you said, he's had the wins, but the person that he's been outside of the ring, and that I can't get past the fact that he was popped for steroids. All right. I mean, he was popped twice. The second one, picograms, something like that. Whatever. The UFC, it's a big business, man. And you get Uncle Dana in there, you get some loopholes around it, But who knows? We'll see Jon Jones in the future. I mean, I'm gonna tune in, needless to say, but I feel like, man, he's a smart fighter. And he may fight the perfect game plan, but we'll see. I'm interested to see how he's going to take those shots from the heavyweights, how long he can actually last with the heavyweights, because he was able to basically GSP the fighters in the light heavyweight division, but these guys that he's going to be facing, I mean, Francis Ngannou, I mean, how long can you freaking hold that guy down? How long can you stay away from his punches perfectly? But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank you. Oh my god, I'm like super pale. I feel like I'm out of a I don't know.
Good.
This is weird. Anyways, I had to put Gavin to bed. He's kind of a bad kid tonight, man. He hit his brother, hit DJ. And it looked really bad because DJ earlier in the day had fallen and busted his lip. And so when Gavin hit him, it reopened that shit. Fucking bust his lip open, man. It felt bad. It was a rough time.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No, I basically just no, I hear you. Yeah, it's brothers will be brothers. But I basically just closed out Jon Jones.
You did?
Yeah, we'll see how he does in the heavyweight division. Basically what I said is his run in the light heavyweight division. People call him the GOAT, but it's he was popped for steroids and blah blah blah, and his controversy outside of the cage. I was just saying how much better it could have been.
Oh, absolutely.
and at the same time, it's hard to take it seriously when towards the end of it, he was popped for steroids. You know, it's like, so that just, it's
steroids,
you know, it's twice.
fucking
It's twice. I mean, coke, you know, weed, you know, whatever.
We don't have to worry about weed no more.
Exactly. But coke and weed, whatever, that's not gonna, you know, whatever, that'll help you in the gym a little bit. But when you're taking actual steroids, that's when, like, at the point, it's like, all right, in my eyes, you're not a legitimate fighter.
Yeah. Speaking of a legitimate fighter and consequences of being a legitimate fighter, you hear about Spencer Fisher?
Yeah, that's another. I mean, MMA. You knew these stories were going to come out eventually. You know, it's just, you know, you see the way the careers go. You know, the Chuck Liddells and people like that. Spencer Fisher. I'm not surprised that he's having problems with like this, because I've read a lot before other fighters like that having the problems. Is because he was a lighter fighter. You see these fighters in the lighter divisions where the knockouts, they're not so common. So most of their fights do go the distance. And then you see these predominantly...
Because they take more head trauma because they don't get knocked out.
You see these predominantly boxer-type fighters. You know, they have these just constant 3-round wars through the years. You know, that's what really, you know, it's what messes your brain up, you know. And it's unfortunate to see, because I don't know, it's just the UFC, they could do a lot more for their fighters, you know.
Dana White reacted to this. I have an article here just to fill us in. Sorry, I was listening to Kurt. You're a very passionate person, you know. You're very sweet and good heart.
It's. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you, of course.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's like it's the same situation with the NFL. You know, it's like,
really quick. Let's take a shot.
Anyway,
let's take a shot.
Sure, why not?
This is a drinking podcast. We're not doing too much drinking tonight. Come on.
I've been trying to. Well, we had a lot of upcoming stuff to talk about. You know, I didn't want to get too sloshed there.
No, dude, we're already at almost an hour and 15 minutes, man.
No, I know.
We're crushing it tonight.
I am.
Whatever, dude. Cheers. Oh, it's going down. Excuse me. So easy now.
No, it's.
Anyways,
but the thing is, when you talk about, because I want to reiterate on Spencer Fisher.
Well, hold on. Let me read the article first.
Oh, okay.
Let me read the article first. So this is coming to us via MMAmania.com. Let's see.
I hope that, because I can't say that they haven't done anything for him.
Spencer Fisher is quoted saying, I forget where I'm going. I've got depression,
I read
dizzy spells, calling people different names, not knowing their actual name. Fisher explains. He's
had to think about, and he's actually forgotten his own children's names.
Yep. No, that's where the quote goes on. My kids.
At the young age of what? How old is he? What, 41, 42 now?
He says, my kids, I've had instances where I couldn't think of their name on the spot. My balance is shot. I've had a hard time remembering what I did yesterday. Last week is a complete blur. That's fucking heartbreaking for Fisher, who's only 44, man.
44. And that's the thing with these sports like this, man. Like, MMA, as new as it is, because think of it. It took the NFL, 50, 60 years for these things to start actually coming to light. So I'm not surprised that these things have taken so long to come to light. Because the UFC, it's like the NFL. They don't want these type of things to come out. You know, they don't want the public to know about this, or future fighters to know about, you know, the actual risks there are. It's like boxing, you know. So I'm glad to see actually Spencer putting it out there. You know, it's not that he put it out there, but it's like, I think awareness should be raised, like what these fighters really go through and the risks that they take to put on entertainment. Because at the end of the day, that's what MMA is.
Yeah, MMA Mania goes on further to say, the king is now dependent on medications like Memantine and Prepozine to get him through the day. So he's got to take meds.
Every day, and
then Spencer goes on
44
to say,
years old, to play sport.
Yeah, he says, I got to support my family who understands my condition and tries to help me out the best they can. I don't want to die alone and not know anybody when I see them. I don't want to go out of this world not knowing the people I love or not knowing new people. That's fucking heartbreaking.
At 44 years old, man.
Yeah, man.
Been going through that. He's really, and that's the thing. Like, it's MMA. Seeing how much some of these fighters actually get paid is ridiculous. You see some fighters coming in getting paid what, $1,500, $2,000 to fight. When their training camp itself is almost that amount. Like, it's ridiculous. If you really look into the fine numbers of, basically MMA and the UFC, like, these fighters deserve more. And Spencer Fisher really just put that on the map.
He was fantastic, man. He's got that highlight of that flying knee knockout where he punched the guy. Again, Matt Wyman.
Yeah, Matt Wyman. Yeah, he hit him. And Matt Wyman, he kind of put his finger up. He was like, hey, you didn't get me. Or like, it was good. And then Spencer went in. He just immediately went in for that flying knee, and Matt Wyman bit. He just bit on the takedown, dude. He was like, "Oh, takedown," went to and then just bam.
Yeah, knocked his ass out.
And his fight, he had 2 fights with Sam Stout. The first fight, you go back and watch it. One of the most entertaining, best fights in that division.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second fight, it was his basically retirement fight. To this day, I still think he won that fight. He lost on the cards, but Spencer Fisher won that fight. So I remember being younger, my early UFC days and growing up. And I remember seeing Spencer Fisher through there, and he was
Me too,
awesome
man.
Fighter.
Me too.
Awesome fighter. So seeing that news pop up, it's pretty disheartening. But
it's rough. Hey, let me get your impressions of Dana White's.
I don't do impressions.
No. Let me get your reaction. Excuse me, to Dana White's reaction. Dana White is quoted saying, "Listen, we're all learning every day about the brain injury stuff. We've been investing, in this Lou Ruvo Center to try and figure out more. We're now interested." About this thing that just came out on Real Sports about psychedelics. We've actually reached out to the John Hopkins guy. We're diving into that. But listen, Fisher's not the first, and he's definitely not going to be the last. This is a contact sport, and everybody who's ever done this while younger, myself included, is dealing with brain issues. This is just part of the gig. Yeah, right. Another Whitney Brown is in the chat. What's up, Whitney? And Casey Adams is here. Casey, my dealer, hey, man. Casey. He's the guy that sells me my tequila. Casey's in the chat as well.
Nice.
But what are your thoughts on Dana White just saying, look, you're not the first, you're not going to be the last. You're part of the process, kid.
Look where he's at. Look at who the person Dana is. The guy's picked up and thrown out thousands of fighters. I'm not surprised that he answered it like that, to be honest. As cold as it is, I'm not surprised. Dana's a cold motherfucker, man. He's got to be. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not surprised that he said that. But that touches up on what I was saying before. He could do more for his fighters. But, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Hey, I'm going to tell you, man.
When Dana goes through so many fighters.
The alcohol's got you tilting to your left. We're going to have to bring it to the right a little bit. There we go. Just.
All right. But what are you gonna do? You're at Dana's position.
You're at his whim. Do you think Dana White and UFC should financially support Spencer Fisher and other people like this?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
I mean, the UFC doesn't even offer insurance. They don't offer health insurance. It's one of the little things that people don't realize. It's like you literally go in there and you fight somebody, to whether one of you was sleeping, or tap out, and this job doesn't even offer health insurance. Like I move refrigerators for a living and I get offered health insurance. It's like, so it is kind of messed up, and I think there should be like some sort of retirement plan for the UFC. But the thing is, what I was saying before, the UFC is such a cutthroat business. I mean, you get a job with the UFC, they sign you to what, a 2-fight deal? You lose those 2 fights, you're out of there. You know, you suffer brain damage in those 2 fights. Well, you sign your name on that contract. You didn't read the fine print. I mean, it's a cutthroat business, man. There's nothing really like honorable about it. I mean, he has a point when he says, the fighters know what they're getting into.
Casey says that's crazy about the insurance. No, you're absolutely right, man. It's such a high physically,
it's a very high risk
job.
High risk, low reward unless you are a superstar fighter. Yeah. And the chances of being a superstar fighter is me going to the fucking store and buying a lottery ticket that's worth more than $500. Well, I'd say no. I'd say probably $20,000.
It's a cutthroat business. It's a very cutthroat business.
Think of how many fighters have come and gone through the UFC, and then you think of like the superstars that they've had through the years. They've had probably over thousands of fighters come through. What, they've had 30, 40 superstars. The people that actually make superstar and famous money. You know what I mean? Like, what are the odds of being an Anderson Silva? What are the odds of being a GSP? So for the low tier fighters that go in there at the prelims and make $1,500 to get their brain smashed in, it's such a weird scale, Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. It's but at the same time, when your roster is 400 or 500 people,
yeah.
I mean, but I don't understand how finances work.
At the same time though, the UFC back in the day, back in the day, I mean like 15, 20 years ago.
Not that long.
Not that long ago. They didn't have that money. But nowadays, the UFC is $1 billion company. What was it, 4 years ago? They were bought for $44 billion, I'm pretty sure.
That's true. No, that's something very true, man.
It was like, and by some crazy talent agency, they bought an island. They built
if you want to know how much money UFC is worth, they
bought an island
during a pandemic. When they couldn't get people to fly to America, they bought an island in Abu Dhabi. It's not like they bought an island and then all the property. No, they bought an island and built hotels, like restaurants.
And there's a giant stadium that they built that completely shits on the MGM, and they haven't opened it yet. But there was a preview that Dana said, like, oh, if you thought what I did was crazy during the pandemic, wait to see.
Like Dana
saying like, and he was showing like all the big screens. It's basically a whole new football stadium.
No, Dana, we know you're fucking like a lunatic.
So if you can buy a fucking island, you can offer
pay some
your fighters
like health insurance, man.
And you can give some people, some, I mean, come on.
Not to mention, UFC used to be looked at as, Tommy's back in the room watching. UFC used to be looked at as kind of like a family organization. They looked out for their own. They looked out for the people that got them off the ground and up and running.
And the thing is,
look at Chuck Liddell. I can't remember what other guys, but they were given like ambassador positions, just to like, hey, look, go out, do public events, and wear a UFC armband. They looked out for them. Obviously, now a lot of those people got cut whenever they got sold. Zuffa sold them. But man, you gotta
look at what they did to Randy Couture.
Yeah, You got
Randy Couture. All of a sudden, he was repping Bellator. You know, his son's fighting in Bellator. They wouldn't even let Randy Couture corner his son, Ryan Couture, in the UFC. I mean, that's how the UFC. It's not a nowadays, rather. You know, it's not a.
It's not a friendly business. It's definitely
not very honorable. You know, they're very cutthroat. Like I said. You know, even with their biggest stars, dude. I'm telling you, that's why you see that lawsuit. You know,
what's the lawsuit over? UFC lawsuit?
There's a UFC lawsuit that's basically over what we were just talking about. Insurance, taking care of their fighters, to pay for their fighters. I mean, Kung Lee is one of the guys that's spearheading it right now. If you look at the story of Kung Lee and the UFC, they did him dirty, man. They basically, I don't know. I can't keep going on into it. The podcast is reaching an hour and a half here. You know what I mean?
We'll touch on it next time because it does. I'm looking at it.
We will.
It looks like it's ongoing.
Because it's not. Yeah, the UFC. It's not the whole friendly and sunshine, you know, dream that people think it is.
Well, I mean, it's a sport where you punch and kick each other in the face, so.
But I'm saying the whole business side of it, man. The business side of it is so. Anyways, I keep saying I'm a broken record. It's cutthroat, man.
It's very cutthroat. But yeah, Spencer Fisher, get well soon. Hopefully, man, you're able to find the recovery path that you need, bro.
It's heartbreaking.
Hopefully, big fan of Spencer, man.
Hopefully, he's able to, get the support that he needs.
So, are we gonna preview the next UFC? Because there's like a stopgap between Conor Poirier. Everyone's talking about Conor Poirier.
But there's actually a card on tomorrow night.
There's a whole card on tomorrow night, man.
Yeah, there really is. There really is.
Let me see here. I got it. It's Chiesa.
Chiesa versus Magny.
Yeah, versus Neil Magny.
That's an interesting fight. Because Chiesa is kind of like the guy. He's a for his the lightweight division. He was more of a tall, lanky fighter that just kind of struck to get the takedowns. Well, now that he's a welterweight, Neil Magny is the tallest welterweight known to man.
Yeah.
And this guy's like 6'4", with an ungodly reach. It's going to be interesting to see what he tries against him. Because usually, Magny's plan, not Magny, Chiesa, his plan is just kind of get you down. But Magny, I don't know, man. He kind of just he's one of the I keep using Stefan Struve as a reference, but he's a very tall fighter for his weight division.
Yeah.
And he kind of sticks behind his jabs and straights.
This is kind of a throwaway segment. Let's just get early predictions for this main event.
Okay.
Chiesa and Magny, who wins?
Magny.
Magny? I'm gonna say Chiesa, because didn't Magny just get knocked out?
I don't know if that was his last fight. I know Santiago knocked him out, but I don't know if that was his last fight.
Neil Magny.
But I'd say Magny takes it. I mean, Magny's he's the more natural fighter.
Yeah, Magny won against he beat Lawler. He beat Robbie Lawler in a decision in 3 rounds.
Neil Magny, he's not one to be messed with, man. He's a legit contender.
And then, I must be thinking of somebody else because he did lose 2 fights. Jingling, who we talked about earlier, beat him by decision. And then someone named Martin beat him by decision. But then he beat Robbie Lawler. Fuck, Robbie.
I mean, Robbie's on his way out, bro.
We'll talk about Robbie some other day, but damn it, man, that hurts.
We will, right. Yeah. One of our throwbacks.
Let's talk about what everyone wants to talk about, Kurt. And that is Conor versus Dustin, part 2.
I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about Hooker and Chandler.
Fuck Hooker and Chandler, man. Fuck those guys.
Look, Dustin Poirier. No. We can talk about that all day. Dustin Poirier, look at this. Conor McGregor.
Wait, hold on. By the way, On Jane's in the chat. Hi, On Jane. Anyways, back to UFC.
Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. I'm telling you, man. If McGregor does not put Poirier out in the first 2 rounds, Poirier will grind him to a decision, and it will be great. So we've seen Conor get tired. Poirier does not get tired. We saw Max Holloway try to Max Holloway Poirier, and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. Dustin Poirier, he is probably one of the toughest fighters. He may not be the quickest. He may not hit the hardest, but he's one of the toughest fighters I've seen.
That's where it's going to fuck him up, is where you said that he's not the quickest.
But that's the thing.
God damn, Conor can pull a fucking
Conor
switch,
doesn't
though,
put
man.
him out in this. Exactly, man.
Yeah,
Conor,
dude, he
that's
pulls
the thing.
that
If Conor
trigger.
Connects, that's why I said if Conor connects, good because we saw the first fight. I mean, and Conor did set him up in the first fight. You saw Conor come out. He started throwing kicks to the left side. You saw him get Poirier moving to his left. You saw McGregor all of a sudden throwing strikes to Poirier's left side, which got Poirier moving to the right. And then as soon as he got Poirier moving into his trap, because he trapped him the whole fight. You look at the fight, he trapped him. He got him moving his ways. And as soon as he got Poirier moving to Poirier's right, Conor clapped him with a big left. And it was one shot. It was one shot that put Poirier literally face down on the canvas. And then he put him away. But the thing is, that was years ago. Poirier has come leaps and bounds with his just physique, with his technique, everything, dude. You saw this guy go 5 rounds to Max Holloway.
Dude, I don't know, man.
So I'm saying that right now. Poirier is going to be a different fighter. Unless Conor connects clean early, Poirier is not going to go down, dude. I mean, Poirier, if Poirier has his fight, he's going to grind Conor to a just a dirty 5-round fight.
So I watched this MMA on Point video where they broke down Conor's camp. And to summarize, the steps that he's taken is not that we're getting 2016 Conor, but we're getting the closest to it that we can. This man.
Yeah, well, how many camps have said that about their
No. Like they literally go to MMA on Point. Listen, if there's any other channel I'll push, look at go to YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Point.com. Love them. Okay. I'm talking to you too, Kurt, by the way. MMAonpoint.com, excuse me. The Terramana is catching up. But anyways, no. They break down this shit beautifully. Like, in depth, all the steps that Conor's taken in this camp leading up to his Poirier fight. And they're saying that, I mean, essentially, the way, and these guys are not coming, this is not from the camp. This is from, a journalist observing the camp. Mm-hmm. But the steps that he's taking, the stuff that's coming out, this is the closest. And kind of going on the way I was talking about Conor in 2020 with Donald Cerrone after the fight, is essentially Conor's back. Like that's the thing, is this is not celebrity Conor McGregor.
I keep hearing that's all I keep hearing though. All I keep hearing is Conor's back. Conor's back. His coaches, because I've seen it through the years so many times. These coaches talk about their fighters, and obviously they're supposed to. But all I hear is Conor's back and Conor's back. We'll get down to the fact. Conor fought once in 2020. Before that, how long was it before he fought since then?
A long time.
And the thing is, and he fought Mayweather in a stupid fight. I'm not even going to acknowledge that. But how has he been consistently competing in MMA and grinding like these people like Poirier and Khabib, and Holloway and Volkan, all these fighters have been. I'm telling you, I'm not going to say he's not going to be the same McGregor.
Well, you can't be. You can't be the same.
But the thing is, he's not going to come out better.
You evolve. You're never the same.
Yeah, you're never the same. But he's not going to come out as hungry, and as you know, as savage as Poirier is going to be. He may catch Poirier because he's naturally faster.
I don't know about that though. That's the thing though.
Well,
everything
the thing is,
that I'm reading about Conor right now.
Why did he fight Cowboy and beat him in an early 1-round fight and then not fight for the rest of the year?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point, and I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to argue it.
I mean, God, I mean, you may have seen Poirier get dusted by Khabib, but at least he's still in there training, and he's still, you know, it's hard to think that McGregor has been training his ass off since he fought Cowboy.
It's a weird one, man.
Seeing these fighters that take the time off, take so much time off in between fights, and then you see these other fighters like Dustin, when you've seen these fighters through their career grind through the fights. I mean, one of the most memorable post-fight interviews of Dustin Poirier is after a 3-round war, and saying, you know, begging Dana, like, hey, more and more, I got kids to feed, you know, just screaming at the camera. The fighters that do that, they want it, and they are grinders. So, I'm telling you, man, I'm hyped for this fight. I am hyped for the Dustin Poirier fight and McGregor fight. I really feel like Dustin is going to come out and just outperform McGregor.
See, I'm on the opposite. I think we get the closest to 2016 McGregor. He clips Dustin, puts him away.
Man, if we see that
he's a
if he comes out and
athlete.
Jose Aldo's Poirier, that's when I'll finally believe in McGregor. I said that's when I'll finally believe that McGregor is one of the best.
I was talking over you when you said, like, when you see what happened.
Oh, if I see what you were saying, if I see McGregor come out and Aldo Poirier, where he just hits him with one shot, puts him out.
He says 60 seconds, son.
Because McGregor he said he's going to finish him within 1 round.
Yeah,
and that's another reason why I say, if this thing goes not 1 round, but 2 rounds, if it goes more than 2 rounds, Poirier's going to take this fight.
I believe you on that.
If McGregor comes out and puts him out in under a minute, that's when I'll finally believe that McGregor is one of the best of all times. But Dustin Poirier, I feel like he is just more savage of a fighter. And that's why I say McGregor, McGregor is good. He's a very pinpoint fighter. He's very strong with his traits. He's very accurate, very powerful. Now, anybody can get clipped with those shots, you know, and put him out. But Dustin, man, he is just a much more savage, over-round fighter. I'm never gonna. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen.
We'll put out our full predictions, we'll put out our full predictions on Twitter. I'll get up with you, Kurt, about this.
Michael Chandler, first-round knockout.
Dustin for Poirier, the next 2 UFC events, just because we're not going to be back till Tuesday next week. When, of course, these next 2 UFC events wrap up.
We'll have 2 cards to talk about.
It's 2 cards.
We'll be back.
God damn, dude. But man, I gotta say, everybody, so much, man. Thank you for watching,
seriously,
supporting
thank
us.
You for tuning in, everybody.
It's fucking awesome, man. Thank you so much. It really do. We're just trying to find an excuse to drink and talk fucking sports. Kurt, with that being said, let's take one more shot before we close out the show.
I'm just tired of posting MMA posts on Facebook and nobody liking it, okay? I'm going to force somebody to like this if I have to talk about it for 2 hours or not.
You know what I realized? I don't think I have our outro. I'm going to have to put this in post again.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the one thing I keep forgetting to do. I keep forgetting to make an outro video.
We're saying I post MMA things on Facebook all the time. Nobody likes it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll sit in front of a camera for a couple hours straight. I don't know. It's fun, man. I like bullshitting. Dustin Poirier in 5 rounds.
Cheers.
Cheers, fuckface.
Cheers, fuckface. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching us. This has been the Hammer Lounge, episode 6. Don't forget to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, over on the podcast platform. Jesus Christ, this tequila's hitting me.
I can't do it, man.
Like, comment, share, whatever, man. Whatever. Until next time, you can always find us on Tuesdays.
Motherfuckers. Just be here. We'll be here.
All right, wait. Kurt, when can they watch us live?
Every fucking Tuesday. At 9 o'clock, give or take a little while.
Yeah. Well, time zone. Kurt froze. Eastern time. Eastern time, you can find us.
9 o'clock Eastern. What I said.
Yeah, man.
Did you not hear me?
Y'all are badass. No, I didn't hear you.
Oh, no, hold on. No, my internet's fucking up.
It's okay.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
No, I literally just said my internet was unstable.
Yeah, I bet.
Man, I'm unstable too, but I'm holding it together. Jesus. How much do I pay for? I fucking pay for this shit, dude.
Fucking can't wait. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win between McGregor and Poirier. That whole card.
Poirier, man.
Reach out to us on
telling
Twitter.
You Poirier all day.
Myself at the Kai Tai Show. The show at Hammer's Lounge. Kurt, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Hammer MMA, baby.
That's fucking right, son.
You already know. Hey, I got some stickers. If anybody wants some stickers, I got them.
You got them?
Oh, I fucking got them.
You bastard. You didn't even tell me.
Oh, dude, I've been putting them around town. Well, I just got them yesterday. So
anyways,
it takes me a minute.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
I love you. Later.